Marcel, Manchester City 6, Man United 3 today. You know, you can lose games, you can lose any game, especially in this rebuild, but that today was absolutely undefendable, wasn't it?
Yeah. A lot of players look out of their depth today. I think, Malacia got subbed quite early. Foden, he's a Premier League quality. They're both young players, but you can just see the development from a player there, from Foden, and, boss the game. Their two youngest players, or one or two of their youngest stars, Haaland and Foden, just really, Delo looked out of his depth. Anthony, in the first 15, 20 minutes, wasn't getting into the game. And that's happened a lot for a few of the games this season from him. But we are not that level yet. And this is a real learning curve for Ten Hag. There's a lot for him to gain from this. But, we weren't doing the basics. Pressing players, getting out to players quickly.
Just on that there, because you could talk about levels and how good City are. I almost feel like, of course, they're amazing. Yeah, that's fine. Haaland, this, all of the stuff that you get with Pep and City. But like you said there, the basics from the first 2 minutes, Dalot goes smashing into Grealish, gets himself booked. Players playing passes to our players, giving it away just as quickly, like taking ages to win it back. But then when we do get it, trying balls over the top, not holding on to the ball. Like I said, no tenacity, no willingness to close them down. Just like the basics. It wasn't even tactical. First off.
Flex, bro, we spoke just before the game and we were saying no mistakes. I remember you saying just no mistakes. Make sure that we just don't put any mistakes. That gives us a foot in the game, an opportunity to decide this game. Rashford, poor passing. Scott McTominay, poor passing. We're losing the possession of the ball here. And that was happening in the first 10 minutes, the first 15 minutes. They were making 5 or 6 blocks off the line in 3 minutes of football. We can't retain possession. We can't hold our shape. We was nervous. This occasion was too big for us right now in our tenure in this Ten Hag era. He needs to learn so much from this. Even Eriksen, who I speak wonderful. I wax lyrically about that man. But in the first few minutes, a couple of those long line breaking passes, not good enough.
Everyone was giving the ball away. Literally everyone. Sancho, same thing, not good enough.
Even he had a chance to gain the ball, Flex. He had a little chance, but he tried to nutmeg. Control the ball, secure the ball, then go and attack. Bruno, a lot of his passes maybe overhit, and sometimes you want that because some of them were underhit, and that would allow them to break on us because they were underhit, and defenders could header the ball and start their counter-attacks. But you could just see their level. They understand. When they're in the final third, they're hitting first-time crosses into areas because they know that our player's meant to be in said area. Whereas Delo would cut back and wait. Anthony would cut back and wait. And maybe that's a tactic for us, that we want to build and have good retained possession in the final third. But to be honest with you, Flex, we're far behind these.
Can we dust ourselves off from this quickly? Because it's going to be important too. The games are going to come thick and fast now. It's a game every 3 or 4 days now. We go to Cyprus, then we come back. We've got a tough away trip to Everton. Because this was obviously worse than Brentford, but similar in terms of it's an absolute annihilation, and this is on a bigger scale. Yeah. And we've got to dust ourselves down quick. Do you worry about the mentality being fragile? Because the mentality was fragile there in terms of today when we thought it was on a good run. Do you think we can bounce back from this?
Yes, but so with Brentford, it was a thing where Ten Hag, for me personally, he looked at the team, he looked at the previous team, and he played the old last season's team. This now, he's had to, be a bit more pragmatic, understand that he can't play the Ten Hag ball. He hasn't got the right centre-backs, he hasn't got the right goalkeeper, hasn't got the right 6. So he's been pragmatic, and he's still got trashed by these. So, the morale's going to be low. Players look down, players were, poor communication, poor passing, poor attitude. So it's going to be difficult, and we've had excellent home form. The next game's going to be away as well, I believe, at Everton. Yeah, Everton. And Everton's a hard ground to play again today. They were loud today, and that's going to be the exact same kind of energy that they're going to bring at Everton. But I do think we can give a performance on a draw or a win. I have to believe that, and I think Erik Ten Hag would believe that. Martial, we were just saying as well, Martial comes on and scores 2 goals.
I can't believe, in a weweird way, I can't believe we even scored 3 goals in the second half. It just felt like it was going to be 8-0 at half time, and I'm not saying there's something to ride home about there, but it's different. Luke Shaw comes on. Did okay considering the circumstances. Lindelof came on, did okay considering the circumstances. Yeah. Obviously, we still conceded 2 goals.
I'm gonna credit it to them, though. To be honest with you, Flex, I think they dropped off the levels. I think Pep would be vexed. Pep would be pissed off.
Allowed Anthony to do that.
Yeah, he would be angry. You're 4-0 up, 5-0 up, and you've allowed us to go and hit 3. Towards the end of the game, you've changed the whole team and everything. You need to be showing for your shirt, like how our players should have been showing for their shirt for today. But again, Scott looked a bit out of his depth.
Is that it now? Casemiro that's it now? Because it feels like you're waiting for that. I don't want to be you know, a lot of people say Casemiro start, but you know, I've been one person to say, look, at the end of the day, Scott McTominay's playing well, but you wait for that first game for it to go wrong. Now there's a reason for Ten Hag to look at changes, isn't there? Varane, hopefully not injured for too long now, or hopefully not a big injury. You know, that looked inevitable at some point this season. It's come now. There's a few things there that Ten Hag's got to sort out already.
Yeah, well, yes. If I moan about a few things, though, Jack Grealish was on the floor about how many times in the first half? But then Casemiro, as soon as he comes on, he's dropping on the floor, sliding on the floor to Jack Grealish's feet, and then he's beating him. And so Casemiro still has elements to his game that he still has to get right now. It's not the perfect time for me, in my opinion, for him to come in. The whole team was rubbish, and they're a class above us. So I would still maybe play Scott the next game. It's just Eriksen just didn't look like Eriksen today.
Couldn't get into the game. Bruno, terrible. Look, like you said, I think on an individual basis, it's literally the whole team.
Yes.
Second half, okay, cool. We managed to score 3 goals, which I could not see that happening. But at the end of the day, we got smashed 6-3. The whole thing was about Haaland this and Haaland that. He bags a hat-trick and so does Phil Foden. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we've got to take humble pie. Going forward now, you know, Europa League, the schedule's grueling.
It's like 10 games this month.
What changes would you make though? I know you said quickly there about Casemiro and Scott McTominay, but you know the next game is on Thursday.
Yeah. Well, you've got to have Martial starting now. I'm not sure if Rashford looked. He still didn't look his full flowing self. You know, physically didn't look right. So I want to see maybe Elanga come in. You know, Anthony looked a bit shy this game. I don't know how to explain it, but he had to get moved over to the other side in the first half because that wasn't working on that side, and then he wasn't getting into the game enough. So maybe bring Elanga in, see what he can do. You know, Pellistri was on the bench today. Fred came on. I didn't really see much of him.
No, I think it's just about getting some level of consistency and getting a level of performance in the next game for sure, because we can't play like that again. Now, I know it's against Omonia, but confidence needs to start building again quick.
I don't even know, Flex, if we was playing pragmatic. I don't know if that was us. Was that us holding our shape? Was that them just breaking,
us making mistakes? It was us not, like you said at the first bit of this, not doing the basics right. You know, really, really poor. Really, really poor.
So I'm right now, I'm just absolutely gutted. I mean, like you said, it could have been 8. I was thinking to myself, the amount of people that were leaving around me, I was thinking to myself, it's going to be 8 or 9. So for us to come out there 6-3, he has to learn from this Ten Hag. This is a huge learning curve for those players. I mean, you know, what can we say now? On to the next one.